Hi, my name is Mark Rasmussen. I'm going to be shooting a video today on my new student dialogue, Age is Only a Number, and the Privilege of Age. So today, first, when we got to our new student group, everyone came in, sat down, and we wrote our names on a card. And for the first activity we had to do, we had to go around, introduce ourselves as the person on the card, and then say how old we were and what we thought the age should be for an adult. And once we did that, we had to switch cards with the other person and then pretend like we were that other person and go to another person or up to another classmate and exchange information and keep exchanging cards and try to remember the information that each of the other people thought about how old an adult should be. So during our discussion, before we discussed any deep thoughts about what we thought age was and what that should inquire, we read over guidelines of that we should be respectful for all the people in our group. We should not judge them for what they say, not defend or judge the person, but work on the statement rather than against the person. So once we established that, just the respectability for everyone, then we got this piece of paper, which has 3 categories on it, which is debate, discussion, and dialogue. And then we discussed as a group what we thought about each category and what we liked and didn't like about it. So during our discussions, our group was kind of quiet, so I felt I had to step up and answer most of the questions. So I was the active voice in most of our discussions. I was the first one to answer for most of them, just to get the discussion flowing, and I think everyone else was just kind of nervous. But it was good. So a lot of people just used reserved voices because they agreed with the statements I said, and then they'd add on little bits here and there. But I guess they're just getting warmed up just so they got their feelings straightened out. And then they had up on the whiteboard a list of bunch of different countries, and we had to match up what we thought the age regulations were for that country. They had anything from drinking age to driving age to owning a gun to when you're allowed to work or start or stop school. So we had to match them up according to what we thought in groups, and then after that we had a group discussion on what we thought each country's age regulation was and what the actual age regulations were. So what we found out from that is different countries and cultures have different perspectives on when they determine people or children should be able to perform different tasks or when they should be entitled to different privileges. So for example, we found that Austria you have to be 16 to vote, and in Italy you can be 18 to drink. So that was interesting to find out and contrast to the United States, because in the United States you have to be 21 to drink and 18 to vote. So that gives you a different cultural perspective of how your view isn't necessarily right, and other countries are entitled to their age discrepancies of what they feel is the appropriate age for a certain action. And also, we had a lot of group work, so we spent time in our groups discussing all of these topics, and I think dialogue is an important part of Library 100 because it's an important part for us as a student, as a progressing student here at Clemson University, because as a student at Clemson University we need to be able to converse with other students, express our opinions, and accept their opinions even if they differ, and not attack them, but express our viewpoints on their opinions and not insult them in any way. So it's a good use to learn how to discuss hard topics with other people. And we found out age is only a number because there's stereotypes, like people, just because you're like say you're 40 years old, but if you act really young, then you're out of your stereotype, so, or out of your age group. So age is only a number, and it doesn't mean much, but it depends on how mature you are. So the more mature you are, the older people think you are. So we discussed that, like, we think like being able to vote or drive or drink should be based on maturity levels instead of ages, because everyone ages in the same time, but not everyone matures at the same level and at the same rate. So that's what we discussed in our group, and I had a good time in our group, and thank you for watching my video.